country's largest service industry union, the South African Commercial, Catering and Allied Workers Union, or SACAWU, said that Massmart and Walmart should increase their planned fund to support South African suppliers from 100 million rand to at least 500 million rand. The union also said that it wants a guarantee that the retailer will not lower its domestic procurement.
Massmart market cap of 31.5 billion, a price earnings of 33.4, but there was a whole lot of stuff in there with the Walmart deal. If you strip that out, you get a price earnings of around 24, dividend yield 2.6. Anthony, Massmart came in there, they were like apparently anti-worker, anti-union and everything, and you got to say that they must have in a sense seen it coming. They've been giving a very hard time. I mean, appealing a decision that's pretty much a done deal. You almost got to say the American Massmart guys must be thinking, well, must really have wanted Massmart and that exposure into Africa, because they're not having fun so far.
Well, I think it's deliciously ironic that they're using the competition legislation to effectively force through anti-competitive kind of provisions, like
75% procurement, and
and to basically single out one retailer in the country that has to have these kind of massive procurement provisions is slightly, illogical. I think it's best to describe it. But having said that, I think the market's pricing in massive deal synergies that are not obviously apparent at the moment. So you said 33 times historic earnings.
Yeah.
Walmart trades on 12.2 times earnings. So it's very difficult to understand why the market's attaching such a high multiple to Massmart.
And we might not just say that the Massmart Walmart won't work, it's just it's not going to be this year or next, it's going to be 3, maybe 5 years down the line.
Yeah, the real growth in earnings will come from growth into Africa, and that is a long way away. I think that the market here is competitive. They are going to have to drop prices aggressively to gain market share, like they've stated, or to get the market share that they've stated that they want to get. And I think the other point is they're making it very clear that the value proposition is not getting better prices ex-factory gate, but it's in the supply chain management. And I think that's going to be hard to do.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yonatan, Massmart listed on the JSE in 2000 at R12.50 per share. What is on the horizon for the share price from a technical point of view?
In a simple answer, lower prices.
We love lower prices, don't we?
I love right now. That's the order of the day. Look, I mean, we can see from this chart over here that it's been struggling for the past 7 months to break the ceiling of 147.5 rand. It eventually did break that in the beginning of August, but as quickly as it broke out of that 147 level, I think it reached a high of the 164. It came back fairly quickly without actually even stopping at that 147 level, which was going to be the support level. Now that level over here, well, this slight movement above the 147.5 level, we call it a bull trap, where a lot of people get caught in that moment thinking that it is going to continue going higher. But as I said, this long-term support line at the bottom over here spans to 2008. So we do see a long support line. Prices did hold at that level, at the 136 level. But one of the interesting things over here on this chart is this 200-day moving average, which is already starting to slow down as we, as it's happening. Prices are struggling to maintain above that moving average, which suggests that there's more downward pressure to come, but there is intermittent support levels along the way.
Sounding like it's not too hot then, Yonatan?
For now, I don't think it's going to be, well, let's put it this way, I'm not too hot on this stock. Although the RSI seems to be indicating that it is coming off a low base, is coming off a oversold area. But this is very short term, and I am more of a medium to longer term investor, so I wouldn't be looking to pile my money into this.
Thank you. Anthony, how do you feel about Massmart, hot or not?
On these kind of valuations, not hot at all.
Not hot for Anthony. Simon Brown. They're making a few people really hot under the collar. Woolworths, the government, the unions. Are you equally hot under the collar, or do you think it's a hot stock?
No, I don't think it's a hot stock. I think it's too expensive. I'm with Anthony on this one. Africa's a big story. That's excellent. It's a long way down the road. ShopRite is already there and getting the money out of Africa. Making profit out of supply chain, that is really, really tough. And these multiples are really pricing in, African dominance before Christmas, and that's simply not going to happen. I think it's overpriced. I think it's not hot.
Overpriced and not hot for Simon Brown. Let's move on to something hotter now, like your stock pick. Anthony, what have you chosen for us today?
The little company called Protec, Kotele, which is a bulk earthwork stroke contract mining business. It essentially owns a lot of earth moving plant and contracts that out to various clients. I don't know if you've noticed, but Eqstra.
Yes, took about 15%.
They bought 15% of Protec. This is a company that's not prone to buying passive portfolio stakes in companies. I think the management of Eqstra have stated that their intention is to take out, at some stage, the minorities in Protec. The tangible NAV of Protec is 82 cents a share. It's trading at 61 cents. We think the takeout value, which would include a control premium, would be close to tangible NAV. So we think that there's fairly low risk in this business and potentially some wonderful upside. So we like Protec and we think it's very hot.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anthony. Let's come to Yonatan stock pick. What have you chosen for us and tell us why?
I've tried to scan the market for a stock that is hot, and I've actually gone back to my banker, which is gold. Now, I'm a very a bullish guy on gold, and we've had a wonderful correction after reaching highs of over $1,920 an ounce. It came all the way back down to the low 1500s, the 1534 level. The only thing that was really concerning is that correction took place very, very quickly. We had around a 16% correction. So again, once it had reached these levels around the $1,600 level, it's at that mega trend support line. So at these levels, one can start accumulating gold again at the 1660s, 1650 level. In fact, I'm a buyer of gold all the way down to around the 1550 level.
Thank you. I'm not even going to ask you, Simon Brown, how you feel about gold, because you are famous for saying that if someone gave you a gold mine, you would give it away. So tell us how you feel about Anthony's stock pick,
No, I'm
which
going
is
to go to gold
Protec.
first. I'm going to go gold
Will
first.
you?
Because
Okay.
I've got to give Yonatan total kudos. Firstly, ever since I've known him, he's told me to buy gold. He's been right. More than that, when gold hit the 1900 thing, he came on air and he said to us, it's going down. He says there's no way stretching above a 200-day moving average, something like that. And he was absolutely spot on, and we got a massive retracement. And I went out there and said to folks, Yonatan's calling gold to 1600, and they all said no chance on earth. And he was spot on. So kudos. So if Yonatan says it's time to buy gold, it's probably time to buy gold.
So are you going to start buying gold?
No. no, everyone else can go and buy gold. I got a silver coin at home, and that'll keep me in space.
Tell us about Protec.
And Anthony stock's an interesting one. I haven't delved into it recently. It was one of the stocks I really, really liked when it listed, and it unfortunately came in the bubble. And we all jokingly said it moves mud, and that's not a bad thing. It's the contract mining part that was really, really interesting. And then it got sold off with everyone else, and I think neglected and passed by the side. But I think that Eqstra stake really got a lot of people looking at it. And even if you don't get a takeover, just the fact that Eqstra came in, suddenly people are looking, suddenly people are interested. And I like stocks trading below tangible net asset value. There's always a bit of risk there, but it probably removes that risk. Don's below tangible net. I wouldn't necessarily rush out and buy that. But I think Protec definitely worth a look.
And if Eqstra likes it, it must be hot.